Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Well, might be afternoon for my East Coast people, but hello. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Hope everybody is having a great day. So I have been noticing that lots of you guys are posting how hungry you are, which I absolutely love because, you proved me right, and I like being right. Okay. I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. I do like being right, but I want to talk to you guys about this. So it's only week 2, right? And already you're starting to see and feel a difference. So last week or the week before we even started the program, you guys were all doing your calculations and you're like, oh my God, it's more food than 21 Day Fix. I can't eat all this. And last week you guys were like, ooh, I'm kind of full. I don't know if I can get my meals in. And I kept telling you, just wait. Your body needs fuel for these workouts. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And here we are in week 2, and now that your body is getting used to these workouts and you're already starting to build lean muscle and your metabolism is starting to rev up, you guys are all saying, I'm so hungry, which I love. I don't love that you're hungry, but I love that that means it's working and you're showing yourself exactly what I told you and what I knew would happen, which is fantastic. But let's talk about that and what to do if you are feeling really hungry. So, first of all, that is great because your metabolism is revving up. What I want you to try to do, though, is finish out this week and next week in the same bracket you're in. Now, that being said, if we're sort of through the detox phase, right? So we're through the part where your body's detoxing from sugar and alcohol and processed food and all of that stuff. So now, if you're constantly starving, like, oh my God, you can't even make it the 2 hours, or you're done with all your meals and you can't sleep through the night, you're so hungry, or you have a headache because you're hungry, or brain fog, or, you don't feel like your muscles are recovering, properly or fast enough because you're so hungry. That tells me you need more fuel. Now, here's the thing. There's like 42,000 of you guys, so I don't know who out of you picked to start in weight loss and who started in just the regular maintenance plan. So bear with me because I got to talk through both. So let's say you started in your weight loss plan. You started with your weight loss formula. And we're now 2 weeks in. Like I said, I want you to try to get through the rest of this week. But let's say you're just ravenous every day. You're like, I just cannot function. It's not enough food. What you can do is bump up one bracket. And that will put you, more than likely, that will put you between your weight loss and your maintenance. So you'll still technically be at a little bit of a weight loss deficit. You just won't be at as big of a deficit as you were with the original formula. I hope that makes sense. So if you, like I said, if you did your weight loss formula, let's say you did your weight loss formula, you're in bracket A and you're just like, I'm just dying, I'm starving all the time. You can move up to bracket B and see how you feel. But here's the thing. If you make the adjustment and you move up a bracket, you have to trust it, okay? You can't move up a bracket and then the very next day jump on the scale and be like, what happened? Did I gain weight? Did I lose weight? Because your body, once again, will need a minute to adapt to the fact that you're giving it more food. So if you bump up that one bracket, you got to stay there the rest of phase 1. Okay, so that was me talking about if you did the weight loss formula. Now, let's say you did your maintenance formula and you still feel like you're ravenous. Okay, great. Your metabolism is revving up and you're essentially going to do the same thing. You would move up one bracket. The difference is for people who did the weight loss formula, they have the potential to move up 2 brackets, but I'm going to baby step you guys in. So if you did the weight loss formula and you end up in bracket A, and you were going to do your maintenance formula, and your maintenance formula puts you in bracket C, you would take the middle bracket, which is B. Okay? So you would go, let me go to B first, see how that feels for the next 2 weeks. And then in phase 2, we're going to recalculate with a slightly different formula anyways. So we're going to do that. So for these next 2 weeks, if you did weight loss, you can, like I said, you can bump up one bracket and then If you're still hungry, you can adjust up until your maintenance. And if you're in maintenance and you're just absolutely ravenous, you're not getting through the day, you're not functioning, that sort of thing, then you can just bump up one bracket and see how that feels. And I can tell you guys, 110 coaches in the original test group, and I had people that had to jump all over the place, not every week, okay, but I had people that started in weight loss that went up one plan and were fine. I had people that started in weight loss, went up to their maintenance, and they were fine. I had people that started in maintenance, felt great, stayed there the whole time. I had people that started in maintenance and had to bump up one bracket, were totally okay. I had one of my guys that started in his maintenance, bumped up, was eating in plan F, and he's a former athlete. If you guys know Danny Delgado, he's a former Major League Baseball player. And he's like, Autumn, I'm still hungry in F. So I gave him another red, another green, and another yellow. And I think he finally did well there. But everybody is different, okay? And this is a different program. Like I told you guys, your body requires a lot of fuel. We're building a lot of lean muscle. We are torching calories. So you're going to start feeling hungry. So we got to take it step by step. And that's the beauty of being in this group with me, is that I can coach you guys through it. And as I coach you through it, you can go coach your people through it as well. I want to read your questions so that I can answer them. Ariana says, I'm in maintenance, not ravenous, but lost 4 pounds. That's already 4% of your body weight. Fantastic, Ariana. Stay there as long as you're feeling good. Like, as long as you're not hungry, as long as you're recovering from your workouts, you stay there. You don't need to adjust. You don't need to redo the formula. We're like 10 days into this. I need you to trust it. So you're doing awesome. Stay where you're at. Dina is in plan D and never hungry. Fantastic. My weight loss is A and my maintenance is D. Is that right? Yes, that does happen for a very select few, that Stacy, that does happen. So it just depends on like where your numbers fall. You're probably falling at the very top of A and the very bottom of D. So what you can do, Stacy, if you are hungry, you can bump up to B and see how you feel in B. And if you stay there for at least 3 or 4 days. And if you're still hungry, you can bump up to C. You want to baby step it up. I don't want you to go from A to D. That would feel very intense overnight. So I want you to baby step it up if you feel like you need it. If you're eating in A and you feel great, you can stay there. But chances are you'll end up bumping up at some point throughout the program. But like I said, baby step it up, and you only adjust if you're really, really hungry. And once you make the adjustment, you got to stay there for at least 3 or 4 days before you adjust up again. How do you manage cardio days when you feel hungrier sooner than the weight days? Well, that's why you have that 2 to 3 hour window, right? So if you need to, you eat every 2 hours instead of every 3 hours, or maybe you just need to get that post-workout meal in a little bit sooner. Totally okay to do. What if you're only hungry after your last meal? Depends on what time your last meal hopefully isn't like super early. Like, I hope your last meal isn't at like 5 and then you're up until like 10, because that would be hard to do. But drink hot tea. Hot tea is always really great at night, just as like a something to do. The question is, Sandra, are you really, really hungry after your last meal, or do you just know that you're done eating for the day and you're bored, or you're like, ooh, I want more, or you sort of feel like you know you're done, so now you want more. So you got to check yourself for what you're really feeling and go from there. Sorry, hold on, guys. And I apologize. I do have a cold, so I apologize that I'm over here sniffling away. But if you find that you're starving at the end of the night, then we still need to look at, do you need more fuel? So be aware of that as well. That if you're just ravenous after your last meal, then you might need to adjust. I'm in A for loss and maintenance. That is well, it's not impossible. You're probably below, like when you calculate it, you probably fall below. I'm reading Tiffany's comment. I'm guessing when you calculate it, you're like me. If I calculate my weight loss, it actually puts me technically below A, which means you just eat an A. But that is very odd for you to fall into A for both weight loss and maintenance. So, Tiffany, you can definitely, for maintenance, bump up to B. But if you're not getting hungry every single day, you guys, I'm not telling you that if you have a day where you're a little bit more hungry than another day, that you switch your plan. I'm saying if every single day you're ravenous, you're bitchy, you can't function, your head hurts, that's when you change. If you're like, oh, I'm a little hungrier today, but you're still getting through the day just fine, you don't adjust. I'm talking about the people that are feel like they're dying. I can tell you guys, I was in the UK last week, okay? London and Paris. So we were walking everywhere. And I was doing my 80-day obsession workouts. But the first 2 or 3 nights we were in London, I was waking up in the middle of the night, my stomach felt like it was eating itself. I could not sleep. I was so hungry. And I had actually bought snacks for the room. So I had veggies and stuff. I had veggie sticks. So I was in the bathroom trying to be quiet at 3 o'clock in the morning eating veggie sticks. Because I was I need food. I don't know what my deal is. And then this is me, this was me not paying attention to the fact that we were walking everywhere in London, all bundled up in coats and everything. And I looked at my phone and I was like, oh my gosh, we walked 12 miles today. No wonder I'm dying. I needed more fuel because I was walking 12 miles a day for an entire week. So I had to adjust up and eat more than I was used to eating because I was doing more activity than I was used to. But my point is that I literally couldn't sleep. I was so hungry. That's how I know I needed more fuel. I'm not saying ooh, I'm a little extra hungry, let me bump up. That's not what we're talking about here, okay? So be aware of that. Somebody said they're super hungry. Yeah, they're rattle trap hungry for dinner. All right, you got to eat. And if that's the case, then you got to bump up. I don't have an exact estimate on how many calories you burn during cardio day. Here's why. Everybody's different. So cardio day for me, you guys, I'm small. I'm 5'4" on a good day, and I weigh 109 pounds. I burn about 350, 370-ish on cardio day. Okay, which is a lot for me. But when Richardson does cardio, he's 6 something, and I don't even know what he weighs. He was burning almost 700 calories in cardio. So everybody's different. So I can't give you an exact about what you're burning. But the formula takes all of it into consideration. So you don't need to worry about that necessarily. If I'm in maintenance formula but feel like I'd like to define my abs just a bit faster, would you drop to weight loss or just hang in and be patient? Melissa, I would hang in and be patient. It's only been 10 days. We got 70 more to define those abs, and I know you want them popping today, but just give it a minute. They're going to pop, and dropping into weight loss, if you feel really good in maintenance, actually could slow the process down. Because if you drop too low in the calories when we're doing this, the exact opposite will happen. You'll actually start holding on to weight. So that's why I need you guys, that's why I'm talking about this. That's why I tell you we got to be very careful about this, that I really need you to pay attention to what you're feeling, because I don't want you bumping up to maintenance just to bump up to maintenance just because you want more food because it's fun to eat. But I also don't want you panicking and dropping into weight loss if you're doing really great in maintenance because you think that that's going to speed up your results. I can't tell you how many people have said that to me, isn't it eat less and lose more? And I'm like, no, not in this kind of workout program. Not when you're working out this hard for this long, lifting this kind of weight. So this is that whole trust the process thing. All right, let me look at a few more of these and then I got to get going. Danielle says she's having a hard time getting all her food in B. Okay, that's all right. We're 10 days in. Give it time, but make sure you get it all in. Okay, great. Should I? So Rebecca says she's in maintenance. She feels great. Goal is to build muscle and tone. Lost 3 pounds so far. Metabolism is pretty high. Should I bump up to eat more No, Rebecca, don't do anything yet. You feel great, so you stay right where you are. Because in the next phase, we have a new calculation. So I don't want you guys to think about phase 2 yet. We're not there. We're 10 days into phase 1, right? Phase 1 is 30 days long. So, or 20 something days long. But I'm only talking about whether or not you're dying right now. If you feel great right now, you stay where you're at. Okay. Should you take the calorie burn you see in your Apple Watch as accurate? Nope. No, you shouldn't. The only one that I found to be super accurate, and I can say this because we tested on set, there's a new Polar watch that when you put the strap around your chest, well, first of all, you need the strap around your chest because that's going to pick up way more accurately. But the new Polar watch does a fitness baseline test first, and so basically, it calculates like your resting metabolic rate, and then it does when you go into your workout, then it knows what your resting metabolic rate is and can calculate from there. None of those other watches are doing that, and there was 200 to 250 calorie discrepancy on my watch. So when I was using one watch and it was saying I burned like 200 calories, and I was like, there is no damn way I just burned 200 calories. I almost died. Okay, I didn't really almost die, but I felt like I was almost dying. And then I did it with my Polar watch. It was saying I was burning like 400 and something. So, no, unfortunately, a lot of those watches these days are just not that accurate. That's why I don't want you guys freaking out and being like, I'm not burning that many calories. Those watches they just aren't always right. Paula says she's following it to a T. She's hungry, drinking extra water and tea. As to why the deficit changes in phase 2. It changes in phase 2 because it's less of I give you less of a deficit on purpose because the workouts only get harder. You're only building more lean muscle, and I need you guys to have fuel in order to get through these workouts and to stay off the fitness plateau. So that's why it changes. That the harder the workouts get, the more intense they get. I need you guys to eat. So we're not there yet, so we're not going to worry about it. But come phase 2, I need you to trust the process and adjust, okay? All right, let me look for one more question if there are any. What if we're not starving in our bracket and we're looking for weight loss? Should you go down a bracket? No, Michelle, the point is not to be starving. You guys, fitness and weight loss isn't a punishment. You shouldn't feel uncomfortable in your nutrition. You don't need to feel starving to be losing weight. In fact, that's going to do the exact opposite. If you're starving, your body will hold on to every little thing you give it. So no, you shouldn't be looking to feel starving. If you're feeling really good in your bracket, that's where you belong. So you stay there, right? Like you don't say like, oh, I don't feel like I'm not torturing myself enough. Let me drop down so it just feels awful. Because feeling awful is why people don't stick to a fitness program, right? That's the beauty of getting all this food. That's the beauty of getting all these nutrients is that you can stick to it. It's not that restrictive. You are eating a lot and in the proper portion sizes. So no, definitely not supposed to feel starving. That's the exact opposite of what I want. If we're not taking Energize, should we add an extra red in or just stick to the plan? No, Energize has nothing to do with protein. Energize is basically a caffeine boost. So if you're not taking Energize, you can drink a cup of coffee, but you don't get an extra protein container for that. So no, you stick to the plan. Tay says, do we bump up to the next bracket tomorrow or wait until Sunday? If you're absolutely ravenous dying, and you have been for the last 2 or 3 days, you can bump up starting tomorrow. If you just started to get ravenous like yesterday and today, I would say wait until Friday to make your decision and see, like give your body another day or two to just adapt to what's happening this week, the fact that we're lifting heavier weights and that sort of thing. And then you can bump up this weekend if over the last day or two you just started to feel it. All right, you guys, I hope I explained it properly. I hope it makes sense to you guys. Hope you're all continuing to love it, trust the process, that these videos are helping you go and coach your people. And if there is something that's coming up within your challenge group, right? Come on in and ask. That's the whole point of being in here. Like, absolutely, it's not just about you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, the beauty is for you guys to be learning for yourselves, but also to be learning for your challengers. So if your challengers have a question that you're not absolutely sure of the answer, by all means, ask me and let's get them the right answer. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.